Hello and welcome to We Women Want. This is our weekly show where we explore women's issues, we try and find solutions to problems, we celebrate the wins, but it's becoming a sort of a support group for women's issues all over. Today we are taking a look at a very unusual issue. Going to be talking to the issue of trans feminine. You know, women who have, or rather men who want to change their sex because they are born as women but not as men. How accepting is society towards this? Because we towards non-conformity, India is not really ready. The laws support them. We recognize transgenders, we recognize trans feminine, but how does that work on paper, on ground? Because the more accepting we are, the more we can integrate everybody into the society. Otherwise, they will be pushed to the margins, forced to find work either as begging or in solicitation or singing in shadis as toli badai. So end of the day, how do we integrate everyone? What are the issues and problems that they are facing with? The law can only cover that much. It's actually society and norms is really where we can all step in. So today joining me on the show is Naz Joshi. She has made it to the Miss Trans Global Beauty Pageant at 2022. She's a motivational speaker. She's an activist and an entrepreneur. She organizes actually trans global beauty pageants, and she's participated in I think seven or eight beauty pageants, 7 international and 1 domestic. She began herself, she was born a boy, but she realized that there was a feminine side to her. Her family actually moved her away from Delhi because there was complaints that she's too feminine to be a boy. She worked at dhabas, she worked at fashion shows, she worked her way up, facing all kinds of discriminations, and eventually got enough money for a surgery, and now really has made it on her own. So her story is inspirational, motivational, and we'll like to hear more about that. Also on the show is Mausam. She is a D farmer from Bangalore, a registered pharmacist, also currently working in Toli Badai. There was, whether she wants to have a sex surgery or not, there is a certain debate. I'd like to really hear her thoughts on that also. Neeti Shukla, she's a social activist, artist. She's also an educationist. She's a fashion coordinator for trans models, and she's a natural director and jury at the Miss Universe Trans Pageant show. Before we, begin, Naz and Mausam, I would really like both of you to tell us your stories. Naz first, if you can help,
Okay. So as show says, we women want. A lot of people must be wondering why trans women. So let me tell you, trans women are women too. We are born women, but inside a man's body. So as we have special children who are born with disabilities, they have the right to have eyes or voice or whatever. Similarly, we also have the right to become women because we are born women but inside a man's body. So we need to have, with technology and science, we are women today. And my story goes in brief that I was born as a boy in Delhi. I was abandoned by my parents at 7. I was working at dhaba till age of 11 until I was gang raped by my uncle and his family members. Then I was thrown away to dance bars, Mumbai dance bars, where I worked as a dance bar, and I had to get involved into odd jobs as well to earn money. And I was sponsoring my own education till the age of 18, till I met my cousin sister Viveka Babaji, who was Miss Universe Mauritius 1994 and competed with Sushmita Sen. She showed me way to NIFT. I came to NIFT. I topped the NIFT examinations.
Very good.
Yes, and I'm professionally qualified fashion designer. I have worked with big designers like Ritu Kumar and Ritu Berry as the assistant designer. The problem arose when people considered my femininity as my weakness. They were started teasing me at workplace because the workplace was not sensitized at that time, and I was really depressed. One fine day I was in this thing as a cafe. I saw a beautiful woman, and as usual, I always compliment people. So I said, "Ma'am, you're very beautiful," and she said, "You know what? I'm also born like you." I said, really? That was like shock to me because I had never heard of surgeries before. I'm talking about 2010, and she told me there is surgery and you can become a woman, you want to become, and you can actually make your weakness that you say that you are very feminine, make that into strength. So I for that they had to collect a lot of money, and 5 lakhs was supposed to be there, and I did sex work at a gay massage parlor, and I met a very good photographer there, and who first featured me in a biopic. That biopic went really viral. I was put up on the cover model of one of the very popular magazines in India. I became India's first trans cover model. And then, this thing, a channel was doing a documentary on me. My father happened to look at that. He took my number, he called me back home. I started beauty pageants for women because I wanted to empower others also, because I was empowered. I had my sex change surgery in 2013, and I want to empower others. So, I said, whatever knowledge I have, let me share it with people. So I started beauty pageants for women, and I got the first opportunity to be a beauty queen in 2016 when Miss United Nations told me to come over and represent India. And I said that I'm not a natural born woman. They said now Miss Universe has allowed 2014 that if you're born a man but you have done your sex change surgery and your passport says that you're female, you can enter our pageant. I went all the way to Jamaica. I won Miss United Nations Ambassador as a title. Then came 2017, I won Miss World Diversity. Came 2018, I won again Miss World Diversity. Came 2019, I won again Miss World Diversity. So 3 times in a row, I made a hat trick. So I became the first trans woman in the world who has defeated women in the beauty competition. But this was not easy. It's not easy because there was a lot of discrimination at every stage that I faced, whether it was starting from my modeling career. There are people who said, we have women, why do we need a trans woman? Then I should give them example of Leah T, who was a Brazilian model, or Kathleen Jenner for that matter, or Lavanya Cox for that matter. Then they realized that obviously, trans women have potential. They can carry outfits and with really grace. And I got a lot of modeling assignments then, but till today, I face a lot of gender discrimination because we have like pay scale in modeling, right? Okay. And our pay scale is always much lesser than a man or a woman. That we face that as a problem. Second problem that we face as an entrepreneur is that people in society, they don't cooperate with us. Like we want to hire maybe a photographer or maybe a freelancer or somebody who can do editing on our work. No, they are not very cooperative. And when we go to the place to have a rent, they always charge us more than what it's there, because we are trans people. They know they will not get house anywhere. So these are some problems that I'm addressing, and I'm also working as an activist. So I think things have changed a lot from past 10 years, but I want that no discrimination in the society hashtag.
Good point. In fact, I'm going to ask you a bit more about the laws and what has changed and how it actually translates on the ground. But first, Mausam, I want to, can you share your story with us?
Yeah, my story is like my childhood and my education was quite good. My family was quite supportive, and I was not so open in the society also. And I don't want to be so open also on that time because I was a kid and I was just growing. So I was just thinking is that I am not a boy. I was not a girl. I know I was knowing. And I'm in my form and on everything, everywhere, they address me like a male only because I was a male.
Right.
And I am in the male body, I am having a female that thinks I was knowing myself when I was growing. So I want to wear a lady's costume. I was liking wearing like frocks and all these things, and I like toys with the dolls and all. I want to play with them only. So I told my mother, she's just not told her, or that time I didn't tell anything, but she was just surprising why you are going for girls and why you are not joining boys for playground and all, go for cricket, go for that. Like, so I was just shocking why she's telling all these things to me, why she's not telling all these things to my sister, and
Right.
why she's not telling all these things to my brother. Why she's telling to me all these things? Then I realized, something is different, like my sexuality and all. Because I was not knowing my sexuality. On that stage, we are not knowing when we are growing.
Yes.
So I was a kid, but I was knowing I am a little bit different. So what others are, I am not. I was just thinking. So I did my pharma. Before that, I was just did my after 12th. I joined my BSc, and after that, my father told you could go for some technical education, and also then I went for pharmacy. I started. So after that, I feel in my society and all, they are not in a college also. If I am wearing nail paint, so she was asking, my mom was asking, why you are wearing a nail paint? You are a boy. So another, I felt very bad. Why she's asking? She's wearing herself nail paint and all. Why she's telling me? So everywhere, like after my education and all, I started my play school, and I met some same people like me, same gender. So there also I was not knowing I am a gay, I am a trans man, I am a trans woman. I was not knowing all these terminology. I was not knowing. So after so much of, I mean, I study myself on net also. It was not so, I mean, easy on that time. I was going through for magazine and all. So I just thought, कि what I am. I was not knowing on that time कि what I am. I am a gay, whether I am a man, I am a female, I am a transsexual, transgender. So much of terms are there now. So I
Right.
know all these things, meaning of every and each and every
I am
word.
actually stumbling over some of the words because I am learning
Yeah.
now.
So, so now on an, I mean, right now on that stage, I just know that I am a transgender. I came in the world in a male body, and everyone was knowing that yeah, he's a boy or he's a male and all. But now I'm feeling that I am a transgender. Transgender means I feel myself that I don't go for any surgery. I don't want to do any implantation and whatever it will be, and for hair removing this, that, and all. So many surgeries and all are there. So my elders, my guru and all, they were telling, why don't you go for a surgery? So I said, it's my decision. I'm not going. And my family are very important for me. They will not accept me. So these things, this point, I mean, transgender people always faces problem. If I'm going like this, so what others will think, what
Right.
others will say about me, about my family, about everything. So this is the thing, because we are not sensitized properly. Our society is not knowing properly. You know, same manner, my family can accept in a. I mean,
Because they love you.
yeah, they love you. They love me, and I mean, they want me. But society and all, they are not bothered about my sexuality and all. So that's the only thing I'm facing,
Right.
and we should know, and everyone should know in a society what we are, and they should not be like shocked and phobic with our gender. No, these are not transgender.
Yeah.
No, don't talk. And some parents don't want their children to talk to us. So
That's
that should not be there.
the phobia. In fact,
Yeah,
Niti,
that
that's
phobia should not be there at least.
good.
We are also human being, like in a I mean world, we are also coming in the same procedure as others are coming, like
Right.
female, male, whoever is coming here in the world. So we are also coming in the same way, same atmosphere we want. We want comfortable I mean environment and atmosphere
Just
to
the right
live.
to live and let
Yeah.
live. Nitish, you are actually, you and I have had conversations earlier also, and you actually said that part of the problem is the acceptance from society, which is why they cannot come into mainstream. Naz also spoke about that. You have to find work as sex workers or totally badai, because there is skepticism. You've given me examples of a school teacher who was
Right.
thrown out 6 months after her job once they found out.
Right.
उसकी कहानी बताइए.
About Jan
Jay,
Kaushik, yeah, she is a transgender and she joined in Lucknow. Lakhimpur is one of the government school. Once she heard about school heard about her, she is a trans, and they terminated her. So she has come back, and she is quite disappointed about this point. So we are fighting case for her. She should get justice about
her thing.
her
But
thing.
you've been working for, you're an activist, you've been working in beauty pageants. What do you find in terms of the, reaction from society?
Yeah.
Are we becoming better, or are we as bad?
No, that's
despite
not
the laws?
better. But whenever I propose them, I'm working for them, so they told me, are you working for chakkas?
That's the words
That
like
is
that.
the words they are using, and they are not ready to sponsor them. We are organizing this pageant show, please sponsor. They are not ready to. They want to keep away themselves. हम हाथ जोड़ते हैं, like that. Such kind of words are coming. They want to keep away themselves from them. This is the problem in our
The
society.
stigma or the phobia is what
exactly.
But Naz, legally, we've come a long way now. We also have a category for trans, male, female trans. So at least on paper we are doing it right. But how that translates on the ground is something I'm going to ask you. But after a very quick break, so we're going to take a break and come back to Naz. Hello and welcome to We Women Want. This week we're delving into the world of what is it like to being a trans feminine. What are the stigmas? What are the phobias? And what is the fun in it also? There must be some advantage also. But Naz, firstly, the legal position, how it stands and how it's translated on the ground.
See, legally in 2014, we were given rights that, we can be on our papers, on our Aadhaar cards, or on our any legal document, we can address ourselves as male or female or others as we want. But that was given by Supreme Court in our judgment. And a couple of years later, in 2019, when the government, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, they passed a bill called Trans Right Protection Bill 2019, and it has reformed into Trans Right Protection Bill 2021 also, because in that it talked about man, woman, and others. And we, raised our voice and we said we don't want to be called others. Why othering us, man, women, and others? What do you mean by others? Then later it was reformed and said transgender. Like today, if somebody wants to go for their driving lessons, on the form it will say man, woman, or transgender. So there's nothing called trans man or trans woman. So transgender is under an umbrella term, and it covers transvestites. It covers people who don't want to go for the sex change surgery. It also covers transsexuals. So for example, I have changed my gender. Legally and biologically, I'm a woman. I enjoy rights of a woman, and I'm trans also. I have both the rights with me. So on the grounds, our actually the problem was earlier that our government thought that we are sexual minorities and we are not the vote banks. And it got changed after we have now National Council of Transgenders, which is headed by Lakshmi Tripathi, and we also have Delhi Trans Cell by Mr. Arvind, Kejriwal, and the person, somebody is handling that, the head. So now we have these cells, which has come out, like we had women's cell, now we have trans cell also. We can complain there, and our complaints are listened, to a level. But what I'm saying is that it's not very important for everybody to just look at government. We need to empower ourselves. I tell people that please call my name, don't call my gender. Recently I had faced a gender discrimination, somewhere, and they didn't allow me to come into the bar. But it was somewhere in Connaught Place, and there were like 100 policemen. I went to everybody. None of them came to help me. None of them. They said, one of them said, "Acha hua, good that you couldn't go inside." I was like so angry. I said, "You go, and I wish it happens to your child." So I am kind of fighter now. I'm empowered. So I'm empowered, and I want others to get empowered and know their rights, what their rights are. They should read Trans Protection Bill 2021, and like things that is happening. For example, that we talked about somebody who was thrown out of the college and school. But the problem is that there's a statement that they can go to jail. But how do we prove that they threw her out only because she was trans? They can say several things. They can say maybe she was not, subjective. They can say she was not good at teaching, she was not behaving good. So that is where we get stuck on.
Good point. Do you also have a problem in finding jobs? Like I heard you're doing Toli Badhai, but that may not be your first option. You may want to, in terms of employment, are people wary of, you notice people skeptical?
Yeah, I'm in office and all. I didn't have any type of this kind of problem. I'm not having. But
Okay.
if you are joining and they were knowing what you are and your sexualities, of course they will be like
An
they
issue.
will they will like phobic.
Hmm.
So these are transgender. They will not
But I
know.
want to intervene here, sorry to say,
Huh?
but we have a lot of jobs for transgenders
Yeah, we
today,
have.
for young transgenders like you. We have jobs like Flipkart. Recently, we had Flipkart, jobs, or Amazon for that matter. A lot of corporates are hiring now.
I see.
The only problem sometimes I feel is that some girls want to join Toli Bathai because there's more money there. You know what I mean? That, obviously Flipkart or Amazon going to pay you 15 grand or 20 grand a month, where in Toli Bathai you can earn up to 50,000 a lakh also sometimes. So that is also an easy way out. But I want to tell people that, it is now a safer workplace, and we need to get up and say, okay, we want to get into jobs and tell and sensitize people out there. Like I work as gender sensitization also in a lot of places, school, colleges, workplaces. I myself go and tell people, and they are okay with it. They have no problems.
No, but Naz, one of my friend. She started in Flipkart, and as a transgender only. She was a transgender, and she started in Flipkart. And after 1.5 years, she left. I asked why you left. You were getting, quite good amount, 30,000 around she was getting. So I asked her why you got. Skip all these things. So she told me whenever I was just in her office, they will teasing me. Sometimes they will address me like male. Sometimes they will making fun of me, and break, lunch break also they are not taking her. I mean, in
With them when
between.
they go for lunch.
So she was telling I was all alone.
Alone.
Lunch time and
The isolation is there.
yeah,
Except
isolation, completely isolated.
you,
So she left.
she left for
Yeah,
it.
she left and she was doing again. She was doing Lal Batti. She was asking my money.
Actually, the Lal Batti money in Toli Vidai is also because at least you are with 3-4 others. Aloneness nahi hai na. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Company, they
Company
feel
is there,
comfortable with
same
their own
comfortable.
community.
Like people will. I mean, society will say, कि why you are asking. So many people will come and they will ask, why you are asking why you are begging, why you are asking money.
What
You
is the
should do
option?
some work.
Hmm.
So if we will say, yeah, you give work, so then they will quite.
We are not ready to give household housekeeping
And
work
there are
also,
so
no?
many of seminars conducting for transgender and all this, and they are making money for for their seminars also. I'm knowing internationally also they will
So they
just
get the
ask.
funding for
Yeah,
seminars
for
and bas
yeah, and they will
naam ke
promise
vaste.
कि yeah, we will do all these things and all like a government के
Yeah, but you asked me about legal thing. Here also I want to highlight one thing that Mr. Modi has come up with a smile card for us where they're covering 5 lakh rupees per year for us. You know, it can be a cosmetic surgery, it can be a gender change surgery.
Really?
So yeah, that has come up now, and a lot of girls get into toli badhai and sex work because they want to. Like when I went into sex work, I went because I wanted to have that money with me. Now government is making easy for us. You know. Also, I believe that there is a lot of communication gap between the government and the trans community itself because government make policies, you know. But then those policies, you know, that then the government says, yes, we have made the policies. But are we sensitized enough to have those policies there? Do we know what our rights,
implantation will
or
not be
do the
there,
people
no?
know the rights? You know,
Implementation.
Yeah,
For
implementation.
instance,
implementation should not.
Naz, what you were telling us before off camera about that quota in IIMs.
Yes.
There is a quota for
Yes,
in the
yes,
OBC
yes.
for a trans.
Yes.
But what happens? It's
What happened? Because the problem is the fee is so high
So
that
it's-
none of the first of all, not many trans people know about it that they have place in IIM. Because if they knew, I'm sure a lot of parents will encourage their children, trans children, to go to IIM and would like to see them at top post. But the problem is that people don't know about it. You know, there's a lot of, I said, communication gap between government policies and within the community itself.
also. But for instance, you have a degree in pharma. So are you doing something with that, or you?
No, I'm
Why?
not doing nothing. I'm doing because of that society only.
That's what I've.
Yeah,
That's
because
the-
Neither her,
chemist
Naz
shop.
herself, she's a
Chemist shop.
fashion designer, not doing work.
Yeah, but I design clothes for myself and I design clothes for my friends who are into Bollywood and all. I design clothes. Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm working in an NGO now.
you're working in an NGO. But why are you not, doing your own business in pharma? What is the discrimination you?
Again, I'm feeling my like I should not do all these things because of society and all. They will say, oh, this, that, and all. I'm not going home also. Sometimes I'm feeling society what they will think about me in a marriage and
And you
all.
feel there's no respect for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the thing.
That there's
Dignity
no
and
dignity
respect.
and
Dignity
respect
and
is not there
respect,
from the society. If she
from
starts
the
her own work, she will see that people are not coming to her shop,
No,
because
when I start my play school, so I was starting as I was not telling my identity, my gender. I was not telling. So that till that time it was going on good. And after some 3-4 years, after that, I started from 2 children was there initially. And when I left, it was like more than 100 children were there.
you were
But-
registered as male that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a male, I was there just doing
So the
all
minute
these
you
things.
revealed that you're a trans, they backed off.
Yeah.
That's
And
the-
It's a transphobia kind of
Yeah,
problem with the
Transphobia,
people.
sahi bola aapne.
First, we have to be clear our mind that we have 3 genders in society: male, female, and trans. They say that there is a third gender. No third gender. From a mythology, we have 3 genders. If you say from a Mahabharata and Ramayana, we have 3 genders. Like time Arjun was he changed her dress and taught as in Agyatavas. Krishna ji changed her dress and he came as a trans. So from mythology we are coming. And in Akbar time, Mughal times, they were treated as advisor or using like as a security
were
for
there,
the
yeah.
women.
Security
They will
guards.
feel
To
safe.
harems.
But in between era like British car, that time the barrier because of that there is a phobia and neglected community they didn't do. So that just facing with their body only. So we have to clear our mind. We have 3 genders and parents has to sensitize and neighbors and your relatives. Generally, parents used to say कि don't come in front of my guests are coming and you sit at backside only, and they don't feel comfortable कि मेरा बच्चा ऐसा निकल गया है. And whenever girls used to share with me कि ma'am, my parents told me कि you stay away from us, take hire your flat separately, don't stay with us. And whenever we wanted to visit our parents' house, we cover our body and we go in the night only. कि neighbors should not see कि the child now changes gender or
As
like
you
trans
said
and
that,
kind of.
Britishers came and Britishers had implemented this Section 377, which got decriminalized in 2018.
Right.
But do you know that in their place in United Kingdom, they have decriminalized this much earlier, and here because of politicians and all those people, we were still criminalized. There were a lot of extortions that were done from gay couples or
Yeah.
lesbian couples. There were a lot of crimes, a lot of murders were done in Delhi. I know because before
Hate crimes.
hate crimes were there.
Do you also face extortions and from the legal officers? How do you, like a policeman and all, have you been harassment?
Yeah, sometimes they, so much. Because I was going now, so I'm working with an NGO, and now also they are trying. Why you are standing here? Why you are doing all these things and these things rubbish and all? I'm working with an LGBT community for HIV/AIDS prevention and care. So I'm going for testing. So I will meet that kind of people. Then only I will go for that testing and all, na? And I will get to know whether they are positive or they are not. So I'm doing that work. So I have to talk with the people, and if we will go there in our field and all. So they will ask why you are standing there, why you are doing. If I am telling I am doing that work, I am not a sex worker and I am not doing a bad thing. I am doing some good thing for society and all, for people. So they will tell, why you are doing, government is there now. So I said, what's there, government is there. Why you are doing then?
Correct.
One of the
Why you are
SHO told me in
standing,
front of one of the kinder
And one-
कि
no.
मैंने 1000 हिजड़े मारे हैं, I will 10,000, I will kill 10,000 hijras, like they are using
Like the
Some people-
criminals,
Some people think it's a matter of, my gender and our gender is a matter of money. And I am telling, I want to be very specific, it's not a matter of money. It's matter of our emotion.
bread and butter.
Yeah,
That's
what?
what they are
Yeah,
saying.
bread and butter is a different thing. But
Money and fashion also. Some people think it's fashion
हाँ,
to become a trans.
like it's a fashion.
But yeah,
And one of my friend was telling, I was coming from Rajasthan here, Delhi, last month. My incident I'm telling, two guys were telling, in between one toll is there. So toll, they were standing transgender people and they were asking money. So they said, अरे ये भी दिन में भी खड़े हो जाते हैं यार, ये लोग भी, इनका भी कुछ नहीं है, दिन में देखो यहाँ खड़े हो गए. तो second was telling कि यार ये बहुत, इनकी क्वांटिटी भी बहुत हो गई, बहुत ज्यादा हो गए हैं. तो मैंने उसको
पॉपुलेशन बढ़ रही है तो होंगे ज्यादा.
मैंने उनको कहा, मैंने कहा एक्सक्यूज मी, आप जो ये कह रहे हैं कि पॉपुलेशन बढ़ रही है, आपको मालूम है इंडिया की पॉपुलेशन अभी कितनी है, पिछले साल कितनी थी, 10 साल पहले कितनी थी, आप लोग नहीं बढ़ रहे हैं. You are increasing.
Yeah, this is a serious problem in
on that
society.
note, I think I'm totally out of time, so I'll have to interrupt you. But thank you so much for coming and sharing your stories, both of you, and Niti, for
Thank
all
you,
the good
Priya.
work you're doing.
Thank
और
you.
एक
But
एक और
that's it
मैं
now.
आपको
Thank you
बता-
so much.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.